investment of 500 million United States dollars, an investment that will make Zimbabwe the first African country with a smart capital city built from scratch. The Zim Cyber City project, at approximately 2.5 million square feet, being developed by UAE-based diversified industrial conglomerate Mulk International, is currently under construction in Mount Hamden, just outside the current capital city of Zimbabwe, Harare. It is slated to become a state-of-the-art artificially intelligent city with interconnected government buildings, smooth traffic, round-the-clock security, prime real estate, and top-notch malls. The new cyber city stands to become Zimbabwe's landmark project, offering a world-class, high-end lifestyle to all its residents. It's also the first real estate investment in Zimbabwe through the Zimbabwe Global Investments ZGI Special Economic Zone program. The cyber city will facilitate special window clearance of blockchain and digital assets, licenses, and bank accounts, cutting-edge office spaces, and high-end residential living for all individuals and entities operating and living in the community. All of this comes with a price, of course. According to the designated real estate agent for the project, you may have to part with 1 million United States dollars for such luxury living. Diplomatic Passport wanted to know, who can afford to live in such an exclusive residency? What do you get for a cool 1 million United States dollars? Why would anyone invest in such a project in a city called Mount Hamden in Zimbabwe? Why would people invest in such a project when there are other investment destinations in Africa and worldwide to choose from? Will this investment unlock further investment and attract tourists into the country? The Diplomatic Passport had questions that I wanted to know, needed answers to. I sat down for an exclusive interview with the man behind the project, the owner, founder, and chairperson of Mulk International, Nawab Shaji Al Mulk. So let's start from the beginning. Why Zimbabwe? What made a seasoned and well-established business and businessman decide to sink 500 million United States dollars into a project in an African country called Zimbabwe, and why?
Our brand Alubon is today the world's largest facade panel.
You're disruptor.
Just because.
Is that how you call it?
Something like that. Creating and being disrupting. That's been our direction. And it's the same here. Because back in March, when the HE and some of the cabinet ministers were visiting Dubai for the expo, I had an opportunity to hosting them. And the HE made a compelling argument of why we should be investing in Zimbabwe. And it's followed by a simple visit to Zimbabwe. And when I came here and I saw the opportunity, it kind of struck me what Dubai was a few decades back. I've lived in Dubai for 40 years. So I've seen the way Dubai developed. And I think what really struck me most is a very solid mid-income strength of the people here, and the large number of the Zimbabwean diaspora who are done very well outside of Zimbabwe. So, and then looking around the real estate development, we wanted to bring something different. In a way, let's say, bring a quality of the lifestyle that Dubai is now famous for to Zimbabwe. So that's where the concept of the Zim Cyber City actually started.
There's a train of thought that money follows money, and if investors see a successful investment into Zimbabwe, they will be tempted to look at the opportunities within the country and eventually invest themselves. Well, so the argument goes anyway.
Anything you do on an international platform, on international level, including the small event we have now, the Zim Afro T10, maybe you didn't notice, right now in this hall, who came with me, are 3 billionaires from different parts of the world. They came to watch cricket, but now they're here because they want to invest in Zim Cyber City. They want to invest in Zimbabwe. So having said that, yes, the Zim Cyber City as a impact on the country and the nation will have multifold. Because one, it puts Zimbabwe on the map of high quality living, and the investor confidence will be very, very high when this is built. Because any firm building something of this standard successfully, it sends a message on a global level. So I have no doubt that the economic impact, the impact on the nation, on the employment, on the businesses being growing, and in general the whole real estate market as well for the country, because one successful project will surely bring in another 100, basically.
If you mention to an investor the name Zimbabwe, most, if not all, would recognize it. Mention a city or place called Mount Hamden, and they may possibly and probably draw a blank outside the country. I wanted to find out, why would anyone invest in a city called Mount Hamden, a property built in Mount Hamden, when there were so many other investment opportunities and locations available to invest in worldwide, and even within sub-Saharan Africa?
There's no waterfront city, perhaps in Africa, what is being built here, and the quality of the product itself. It's not just a real estate where you're going in and building, let's say, good quality houses, right? It's beyond that. Now, this is more of a waterfront property. Now, if you take, compare Dubai, the waterfront properties in Dubai today starting range from something around $4,000 to $5,000 a square meter, and they go up to $15,000 a square meter. So here we're pricing at $2,000 a square meter. So that's for you in terms of the quality of a product we're offering. Because the report we've done professionally by Baker Tilly tells us that just on the land development, basically, it's a spend of almost $400 of the quality that we're offering. With your water body, with your landscaping, the community living, the facilities you have, that's just on the quality. But then comes on the benefits now. It's the unique city in the sense we've been lucky to be awarded, the whole project is an economic free zone status. What does that mean? It means the residents living in the city will have duty-free for everything they would buy or import for the use. The cars are duty-free, the furniture duty-free, and the mall inside will have an anchor tenant, which you're going to announce very soon. The utilities, the daily consumables is all at a better price. And if you really talk about the economic impact and the savings, I wouldn't be surprised. I think just the cost of the investment is recovered in a few years, only on the savings that you're doing.
Zim Cyber City will be the first of its kind in Africa, a capital city built from scratch, a state-of-the-art artificially intelligent city. What exactly does this mean, I wondered?
The word cyber is related to being smart and technology, basically. Yes, I think the whole city is going to be based on smart technologies, where we'll have right from your healthcare to your protection, to your security, to your ease of automation, is all going to be smart. I mean, if we start with talking about the healthcare, we're going to be introducing here the e-hospital concept, where sitting in your home, you can get medical services right from your first level of your consultations, to your diagnostics, to your pharmacies being delivered home, and your concierge, health concierge. So that's the health part in terms of home automation. You know, your lights, your doors, your security, your cars, your burglars, all that is all going to be inbuilt.
You clap your hands and the lights come on, sort of.
Whatever, right? We've got a smart panel, everything is inbuilt in that. And then I think we also want to ensure that the security may play the major part. And so this city will have a proper systems where the residents will feel secure living in the city. And then we intend to have the entire stations inside the city.
The construction of Zim Cyber City will, according to Mr. Malk, stimulate and create employment, and further local contractors will be utilized as much as possible in its construction. But will that be all?
But the indirect benefits are going to be much bigger. One is the technologies we bring in, the training that we give is going to be having a long-standing effect. Our estimation is we will change the way the construction is being done in the country forever.
For the Zim Cyber City project, we have been appointed as the land surveyors. Our task will mainly be coming up with a topographic map. Then when that is done, it's given to the other stakeholders, the planner and the engineer, so that they take it up from whatever they want to do. Then after that, The planner will come up with a plan for the entire project, the master plan that we have been given. Then when the planner is done, he brings back to us so that we then go physically on the ground and mark using those steel pegs all the stands that are going to be part of this Zim Cyber City. The world has actually become a global village. Now, what is happening in Dubai, we are getting to be implementing it here in Zimbabwe. So it's very, very important we get to be up to date. It's a project that can market actually the country, and we are happy also that it will market us as a company because we have participated in this big project, a project of its own kind.
Zimbabwe is open for business. That is the mantra of the country. To find out how true this was and if Zimbabwe had become investor-friendly, I thought, why not ask the investor himself?
I think since the status of the economic zone has been allotted to us, I've seen a serious intent of all the government entities to make this happen. So that has, you see, when the HE is saying the country is open for business, we're experiencing that. So we've already finished the building, and then we're proceeding very fast on the entire paperwork. And when we launch it, which we're planning to launch it in mid-September, and I think you can be rest assured that everything, all the permits, everything required will be in place.
Okay, so Diplomatic Passport had looked at the benefits that Zim Cyber City may bring to the local and national economy. I had asked why invest in a city called Mount Hamden and why spend $500 million United States dollars into such a project in Zimbabwe. Now it was time to actually see what the project would look like. Where would the tower, the mall, the luxury and exclusive accommodation be? And what would it look like? What type of accommodation will be available to buy? How about the water feature so often spoken about? How far has construction gone? Are things taking shape?
That's the mall and the tower.
This is the mall and the tower.
Yeah, that's
Now, let me get this straight. Let's talk
mall.
about this is the mall, right? Okay, we can talk about the phases you're going to do. So this is where all the duty-free shops will be and all the top brands. I saw Gucci,
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is bringing a duty-free shopping experience.
Okay.
And perhaps the one of the very few duty-free shopping malls on land, open to public. Because normally the duty-free is more for the airports or the seaports, but this is unique.
Yes.
So this will be here. And this will not only be open for the residents living here, but for the entire tourist. But then there's the hotel and the mixed use. Maybe the residential furnished apartments as well. So we're talking to a few international brands now. We are about to announce a big brand which is almost signed. And then we'll also have a casino. Now the offices set up inside the city will have a tax-free, 5 years tax-free exemption. And then also with that, you have another, after 5 years, it's 15% flat, plus all the special economic zone benefits, basically. This is a 5-bedroom apartment, which is actually next to the, as you can see, I light it up. The 5-bedroom are designed to be around the water body, basically. This is the most luxurious of our development, 5,000 square foot each, basically. It's almost about 75,000 square meters of a water body, and that creates the whole. I think we do have plans of some of the areas to be remodeled, to have a musical fountain as well installed in this. Basically, everything else on the right, including the mall, including these 8 buildings and all the villas around, including the water body, would be phase 1. That we expect in the next 2 years to finish. As you can see, there's 50 hectares, and this development is about 40 hectares. So we wanted the 10 hectares where we want to open this for schools, the hospitals, the whole community living, basically, and of course all the other utilities required here will all be here, basically. The power will be self-sufficient here, so everything is for the city itself, whether it is the Wi-Fi, whether it is the sewerage system, the water, and the power is all 24/7 available. That's a promise. It's a gated community, multiple gates where you'll have the proper security, and also the technology. The whole city is going to be connected with very secure systems, CCTV cameras, for the sake of security only, basically, right? So, and then we do intend to have a police station inside.
Yes,
the security guards company will be inside So everything is within the city.
Okay, so I'd seen the model of the project, the tower, the hotel, the office park, the accommodation consisting of 2, 3, 4 and 5 bedroom villas, spoken about the security and the water feature. So how many people will actually live in Zim Cyber City if all space is taken up? What top and exclusive brands will populate the mall? Also, I wanted to know, what now? When is the launch? At present, I understood, slated for September 2023. How can investors start the process of inquiring and buying property in Zim Cyber City? Will there be sales, road shows carried out?
At the moment our website is up and running, we are receiving the expression of interest, to say that, our inquiry form. So that's the process ongoing now. And there's a couple of strategies that we are actually following up. So we do intend to do a road shows across the diaspora, which is the UK, US, South Africa, perhaps Dubai as well, to bring in the awareness and make the product accessible, basically.
Have you ever met a billionaire? Well, I can say that I have now met at least 4 of them. Diplomatic Passport managed to sit down with 3 billionaires who are, according to them, keen on investing into the Zim Cyber City project. These gentlemen, it was clear to me, were astute business people, not ones to part with their money lightly. One of the investors was a doctor, and I was intrigued by this new concept in Zimbabwe to be implemented at Zim Cyber City of concierge medical services. What was that?
First, Mr. Shaji is, we say the need is the mother of all creation, right? Mr. Shaji recognized a need in this country for a product of this quality and magnitude, and the need for it in this great nation here. And it takes a vision to really get where you need to get. And Shaji is a visionary, and it's his idea to come up with this project, and it's something unique, and I think this will be great for the country.
The Zim City is like, for me, it's definitely, I didn't know about the Zim City earlier, and because the reputation of Mulk in UAE, back in home, that's Dubai, so I'm coming from. So I'm a friend of Mr. Mulk, and he has developed such a big city. We are very much impressed. So it gave me a kind of a thought in my mind, like, why don't I visit to the same place where Mr. Mulk is doing something for the country? Definitely should be something better, which is coming up. Like, it's an African country, somebody has gone from Dubai to there and developing there. Must be something is happening big. Coming to Africa, it's like when you hit some kind of recession or something like that. So our countries have been a bit tense or something. Like, here is like, it's a gap between, there's a big gap here, kind of our economy. So I thought, like, let me see, like, as a businessman, going to Zimbabwe and looking at the development in Zimbabwe, looking these kind of projects, it's like eye-opener for us, like a businessman. So I'm being a businessman, I want to do something in Africa, which, looking at these kind of projects, it gives us extra mileage for our business. This is the place for me for the next investment. I'm so much focused, and I'm so much impressed with this project coming up, and I definitely want to be an investor here in this country.
See, any city to be self-sufficient, you need the basic amenities. And basic amenities starts, yes, with education, healthy air, water, and so health. So for me, I think as a doctor, where I've been in the health industry for 30 years, where I feel a good healthcare delivery is very much important. Shaji, being my elder brother, and when he spoke to me about this project, in fact, I was the first one, in fact, to tell him, beside that, the healthcare university could also be one of the options. Yeah. Because I see there's a gap here, there's a space where the African new generation requires a platform where you can get good medical education. Because first you need to create the human resources, that's doctors. When the doctors, your own doctors are here, they go forward and treat your community. So I think if you look at it, there's a huge opportunity, not just for the hospital, but also for a medical unit. I'm the first pioneer in the Middle East to bring the Mulk Smart Hospital concept. So it has the concierge healthcare, where you can do the telehealth consultations on your mobile with the touch of your finger. You can talk to any doctors across the globe. I've got around 500 doctors right now and 100 hospitals connected globally. So this is one plan which I think seriously I want to bring it to Zimbabwe, where you could have the best of the best doctors consulting, and then this home care services, as you said, the concierge, they can go to the homes and give them the services at home. So basically now it's becoming a more of a hybrid model.
Now, many projects are allegedly announced, launched and touted in Zimbabwe with much fanfare, yet years later, nothing is happening on the ground. I can say with confidence, with Diplomatic Passport visiting the site, that in relation to Zim Cyber City, this appears not to be the case. A launch in September, ground already being cleared, managers selected and appointed, negotiations with anchor tenants at an advanced stage, contractors on site, show villas to be built soon, mortgage facilities being negotiated with banks, website up and running, a showroom and admin office complete, so potential investors and buyers can start making inquiries. This is a project moving forward. Is it for me and you? Can we afford to live there? I think the short answer is no. This is an exclusive elite living space. But if you have $1 million United States dollars, well, then maybe yes. Is it a good investment? It could be, bearing in mind the emergence and development of the new capital city in the same area and the potential for foreign investors to invest in a world-class project with earnings and profit potential. Will it attract other investors into Zimbabwe? I think probably yes. Money does follow money, so the potential is definitely there. What it does show is the opportunity for investment into Zimbabwe and the appetite of investors to seek and look for opportunities to invest in. This is good for Zimbabwe. It's good for us.